Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, we have Gamora teaming up with Star-Lord to take on the Collector in expert mode for escaping the museum. For our villain, the Collector, he's got a scheme of 2, attack of 2. He gets plus X scheme and attack, where X is equal to the main scheme's current stage number, and there's 3 stages he has. Force Interrupt, when the Collector would be defeated, remove 3 threat per player from the main scheme and flip this card instead. So it comes in with 10 health per player. On the other side, scheme of 2, attack of 2, cannot be defeated. When the round ends, flip this card, then set Collector's hit point dial to its printed hit points. And he's got infinite health on this side. For our first main scheme, we are using, the expert mode, escape the museum, galactic artifact, ship command, standard, expert, and menagerie medley. Put the library labyrinth environment into place, set aside the ship command modular and counter set. We've got a threshold of 22 threat. It's going to be coming in with 14. Force Interrupt, when the last threat is removed from this, advance to the next one, and that's how all these work. When they get to 0, we go to the next one, and the last one is when we zoom out of this place. So the library labyrinth. This way, hero action, deal yourself 1 face down counter card, remove 5 threat from the main scheme, limit once per round per player. And on the other side, hold on to your butts. When the villain phase begins, choose one. Exhausted Milano, assign 2 indirect damage per player among the players, or without exhausting it, it's going to be 6 indirect damage among players. For heroes, Star-Lord, thwart of 2, attack of 2, defense of 1. Each ally you control gains the Guardian trait. What could go wrong? As an interrupt, when you play a card from your hand, deal yourself a face down counter card, reduce the resource cost to play that card by 3, hand size of 5, hit points of 10. Recovery of 3 for setup, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of the element gun upgrade and add it to your hand. And as an action, for a smooth talker, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your deck, hand size of 6. Going with Justice, 2 Power of Justice, 1 Sense of Justice, 3 For Justice, 3 Impedes, 3 Crisis Averted. Then we have Wiccan, Jessica Jones, Quake, Agent Coulson, Daredevil, Speed, and 2 Spycrafts. For the basic cards, we have our 3 resources: Helicarrier, Spider-Man, Downtime, and Endurance. For Gamora, she has 2 for thwart, attack, and defense. Finesse, as a response after you play an attack event, remove a threat from a scheme. Precision, response after you play a thwart event, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Hand size of 5, hit points of 10. Recovery of 3, Skilled Tactician, so you may include up to 6 attack and or thwart events in your deck from aspects other than your chosen aspect. I chose Aggression. I've got 6 non-aggression thwart events in here. It's an action, look at the top card of your deck. If that is an attack or thwart event, draw it. So we've got 3 into the phrase, 3 clobbers, Valkyrie, Brawn, Bug, Spider-Girl, and Hulk. Then for Justice, we have 3 Impedes. Yes, I did go get an extra set so I could have dub copies of this, because with her, and from what I understand, there's another character coming in that can have all 4 aspects. I love these cards, this and Clobber. Then we have 3 for Justice also. Then basic cards, we've got our resources, Helicarrier, Mockingbird, Lockjaw, Downtime, and an Endurance. All right, shuffle our encounter stack. And then 6 cards per hero. First with Peter. See what we get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We've got Speed, Gun for Justice, Daring Escape, Sliding Shot, and Crisis Averted. We'll go with Speed, pitching the others. Endurance, Crisis Averted, Gutsy Move, an Element Gun, and his helmet. And use a setup ability to go find our other gun. Gamora gets 6 cards. Lockjaw, Keen Instincts, Forward Momentum, move and endurance and into the fray. So more instincts, the Hulk, set the pace, impede, and energy. Use his ability to put a gun back on top. Flip over, use his ability again to bring speed in a little cheaper. Thwart a 2 attack of 1/4 health after he thwarts ready. So we're going to thwart for 2, ready, and then thwart for 2 more. Then thwart for 2. Bring in his helmet. So while in hero form, we'll get +1 hand size for each face down and counter card in front of us. Then will give us +3 hit points. Then Gamora is going to look the top card, thwart. We can draw it. Flip over. Impede, remove 3 threat from the main scheme. If this is the first card you played this round, return it to her hand. And since we thwarted, we do a damage. I'm going to play a Keen Instincts. Exalt sets to generate a wild resource for an attack or thwart event. Then bring in our second one. Go ahead and use those to remove 3 threat from the scheme. And not ready to flip that over. Attacking for 2, down to 17. Keeping the Hulk, keeping the other element gun, ending her turn. So 4 more cards. Jet Boots, our other gun, Leader of the Guardians, and Power of Justice. Over here, Nebula, set the pace, Genius, and into the fray. Collector adds 2 threat, goes to attack. Star-Lord's just going to take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, down to 8. She's going to take it also. 3, 4 damage, down to 6. Counter cards. Quick Strike, dealing indirect damage. Down to 5, so not going well. Then we're going to be confused. And over here, Insight 1. We are confused. All right, very confusing turn. All right, we're going to set the pace. It's a thwart. We're not confused anymore. We're going to play Into the Fray using these. Attack, deal 6 damage to a minion for each point of excess damage. Remove a threat from the main scheme. So soaks up 4. 2 comes off. Use our ability. So we did an attack, so we get to remove another threat. Then Nebula's coming in. After she enters play, search your deck for an attack or a thwart event and add it to your hand and shuffle our deck. We're going to take the 0 cost acrobatic move. Deal 2 damage. Deal 2 more damage. And 2 more damage. Then Speed is going to attack for 1. To finish off the shark. Oh, don't think I drew my extra card. We're going to play an element gun. Hero action, exhausted, spend a resource of any type to deal 3 damage to an enemy. We'll discard a card to do that. Down to 14. Then we're going to flip over and heal up to 8. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For Justice, Valkyrie, Bug, cross counter times 2. And 6 cards. Crisis averted. For justice, helicarrier, downtime, spycraft, and Spider-Man. All right, 2 threats. Attacking over here, we're going to take it for base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. We're going to cross counter using that as the resource to prevent 3 of that damage. So we're taking 2 down to 4. Then deal 1 damage to an enemy. And remove a threat from a scheme. And that's going to trigger both our abilities because it's an attack, defense, and thwart. So we're going to remove another threat and do another damage. Then scheming over here for base 3. Counter cards. Got a crystal ball, hinder 2. The player who defeats the scheme may play a card from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. So it comes in with 7. And a servant bot. Scheme of 1, attack of 1, 3 health, guard, and patrol. We are going to play downtime, giving us +2 recovery. Going to recover to 5, going up to 13. Let's see, do we want to flip? We're going to put helicarrier on top, drawing into an impede. Then flip. We're going to bring in Spider-Man, choosing thwart for him so he can he's got a thwart of 1, attack for 2, 3 health. After you play him from your hand, choose thwart or attack. He gets +2 to the chosen power. So he's going to thwart for 3. Then we're going to use for justice to remove 4 threat from a scheme. And that's a victory, so we get to reduce our next card by 3. And bringing in Valkyrie, thwart 1, attack for 2, 3 health. After she enters play, deal 2 damage to a minion. 3 damage if we paid for this using an energy resource. We didn't pay, so just the base 2 damage. Which we'll put here and kill with that attack. Oh, yes. No, we won't. We played that, which did a damage. And she comes in for 2 more. So that took care of that. Then thwarting for 2. You know how to take that back. I think we're ready to go on to the next part here. Going to give herself a face down. No, we're not, because we need to heal. Yeah. Thwarting for 1 is what we're going to do. Then we're going to flip and recover up to 7. And end her turn. Keeping bug over here. Sliding shot, strength, Nova Prime, helicarrier, and a daring escape. 5 more cards on this side. Clobber, Spider-Girl, forward momentum, decisive blow, and for justice. 2 threats. Attacking, speed, jumps in the way. 3 damage is enough. Thwarting for base 3, 4. Counter cards. Surge and get another one. We're going to be confused. If we're already confused, take a damage. Insight 1. You're confused. If you're already confused, choose and discard a card you control. That's going to be our helicarrier. Ooh, then we have an obedience potion, so we're -1 thwart, attack, and defense. We can take a damage and spend 2 mental resources to get rid of that. And pass turn. All right, we're going to heal for 3. use our ability, and it's not a thwart or attack event. Flip over. I'm going to play Clobber using this. Dealing 3 damage to an enemy. It's our first card planned to return it to our hand. So down to 9. It was an attack event, so remove a threat. Then thwarting for 2. Then bring in a bug. Thwart of 1, attack of 1, 2 health. After your hero makes a basic attack, heal a damage from him. He's going to come in and thwart for 1. Thwarting for 1. Stun and confuse a minion when she comes in. Thwart of 1, attack of 2. Thwart for 1, which takes it down to 5. We're going to deal ourselves an encounter card to remove 5 threat from a scheme to finish this off. So when we do that, put the set aside Milano support from the ship command and counter set into play under the first player's control. So we now have the Milano. So the first player controls it. As a resource, exhaust it, generate a wild resource for any player. Then this stage is complete. We lose the game. Comes in with 22 threat on it. There's 20 and there's 2. So over on this side, we're going to use our ability bring in Nova Prime. After you play him from your hand, defeat a non-elite minion. Thwart of 2, attack of 3, 3 health. Thwarting for 2. Thwart for 2 to get rid of confused. Deal herself a face down a counter card. Ready our hero. Draw a card into the power of justice. We'll use that to do 3 damage. And then thwart for 2. And attack for 2. Down to 4. Then remove 5 from here. We're going crazy there. All right, ending our turn. We're keeping sliding shot. 5 cards on this side. Brawn, downtime, Clobber, Helicarrier, and for justice. Over here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 more cards. Jessica Jones, Bad Boy, Sense of Justice, Wiccan, Energy, Impede, and Genius. All right, 2 threats. Attacking over here. Bug. It's going to take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attacking over here. Spider-Man's going to take it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Deal out some more encounter cards. Magical Teapot coming in with Hinder 2. The player who defeated this scheme may heal 4 damage from their identity. Then we get a Servant Bot. And attach to the enemy with the highest scheme, which is definitely the Collector. As a hero action, place 2 threat on the main scheme and spend 2 resources of the same type to discard that. Then Cloak of Hercules, attached to the enemy with the lowest attack, giving them +3 attack. So that guy's swinging for 4. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Spider-Girl says she'll take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's tough. And discard an upgrade or support you control. No cards were discarded this way. Gain Surge. All right, losing downtime. All right. First card we're playing, removing 3 threat from the main scheme. Goes back to our hand. Going to discard a card to use that. Gets Piercing. Gets rid of Tough. Down to 1 health. Bring in Wiccan. He's going to thwart for 1. Attack of 1, 3 health. After he thwarts, discard the top card of the encounter deck for each boost icon. Deal damage to an enemy. So he's dealing 0 damage to somebody. So we are going to use this ability to remove 5 threat. Use his ability to bring in Jessica Jones. She can thwart for 1, attack for 2, 3 health after, or she gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play, but she's just attacking for 2 to finish off this version. Actually, back a step before she attacks. We're going to let her take a hero action to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Then she's just going to thwart for that, so he's still at 1 health. So we flip the Library Labyrinth over. Hold on to your butts. Force interrupt. When the villain phase begins, exhaust Milano to assign indirect damage. It's going to be 4 or just take 6 indirect damage. Flip it, place an acceleration token on here. Shuffle the remaining cards from the set-aside ship command into the encounter deck. This is coming in with 16 threat on it. First player action, we can remove 3 threat by exhausting the Milano. So this gets shuffled in. And let me just double check that. Yes, that is not a thwart action, so we're good to do that there. Nova Prime is going to attack over here. We're going to impede, removing 3 more threat. Use a Milano to remove 3 threat. Thwart for 2. Keen Instincts. Removing 4 threat from a scheme, which does the damage. Which takes out the collector, removing 6 threat. Flipped him over. And that's the game. We still had Brawn to bring in if needed, and to thwart for 1, 2, or 3 more. So just taking her time, getting built up. Having a good turn with him always helps. And that is Star-Lord and Gamora taking on the Collector in the Escape from the Museum. So as always, hope you enjoyed this video. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.